Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We are finally in SWBL mode. It has been a while since season 23 at the Blur, but we are back for season 24. My name is Sam Skibby, commissioner of SWBL. It has been a busy off season and not SWBL related for the wiffle ball world, especially here in St. Louis. If you don't know, the NWLA tournament will be heading to St. Louis for the first time, a national tournament. We've kind of been focusing on trying to get that organized in O'Fallon, Missouri in August, but before we can get to that, we have to have the SWBL season once again on Memorial Day weekend. And the biggest piece of leading to a new season has to be the division draw of past. In the past, we have had 9 teams in our league, and this for the first time since 2020, the COVID year. We'll get to that in a second. For the first time since 2020, we will have 8 teams moving forward in the SWBL. The SWBL Athletics have retired and hung it up for their SWBL franchise. One of the not original franchises from 2012, but 2013 was their first year, and they've come back every single year except for that 2020 year. I have with me today 2 of the captains, and we'll talk about why they are here in a second. I have Eli Erickson of the Marlins and Kevin Wiethuchter of the Expos. Eli, I'm going to start with you. 2020 was the last time we had 8 teams, and it's kind of a big year for all 3 of us in a certain way because, Eli, that was the first year of the Marlins. So the first year of the Marlins in 2020, you all have had some ups and downs in your career as manager of the Marlins. You know, after the first season in 2020, right after that, you make the playoffs in 2021 and have been kind of itching to get back to that same mentality you had in that year. Are the Marlins hungry and ready to come back firing in this 2026 season?
Yeah, we'll be ready to go. Jordan will be back. So that was a big loss last year. We're excited for this year.
Yeah, and obviously, you know, you have the horses on your team, and it's going to be really exciting to see Jordan come back. Luke Bakula, always a threat to be an all-star and a silver slugger for your squad as well. And Kevin, the big news out of 2020, obviously, is another huge year because that is the year of the Expos going on a 7-game winning streak from regular season all the way through to playoffs. Jimmy Nelson on a tear on the mound, and with Brett Spencer in that addition to the Expos, you shocked the world, no pun intended from the Athletics, but literally shocked the world in 2020. And since that moment, have not been back to the playoffs. Is 8 teams what's needed for the Expos to get back in the swing of things and get back in the winning circle?
Could possibly be. It's still hard to believe that we did that in 2020, honestly, and we're just hoping to get close to that or even make the playoffs, but it's pretty hard to top that season.
Yeah, indeed. It's almost like everything was perfectly aligned that season for you all to go on a tear, to go on that run. I myself, that was a different, year for me as well. We had the Royals for so long, and we had to combine the Royals and the Athletics. We mentioned them earlier to create the Braves that year, if you remember. And we were the number 1 seed going into the playoffs, but obviously running into the buzzsaw that is Jimmy Nelson that year. He went, I still can't believe the run that Jimmy Nelson especially made in that time. And what's funny is Brett Spencer that year, I felt like had times where he was a better pitcher than Jimmy. So it fell at the right exact moment for the Expos. And it's going to be exciting to see how you guys come out of, while you're here, the basement of 2025. 2025 was a year to forget for both of your franchises, obviously ending in 8th place and 9th place in our league. So now you are going to be in charge of choosing this year's divisions. How this is going to work this time, instead of drawing out of a bucket like we've done in the past. We go to one of our sponsors' restaurants, we have the video going, and one at a time, a team will come up and they will draw from a tier of 3 teams to choose where the different teams will fall in the divisions. With only 8 teams, we're going back to 2 divisions. We want to thank our sponsors for our 2 divisions, Ketting Eye Center and Cardinal Blinds and Shutters, for coming back as our division sponsors this year. And there's going to be 4 teams in each division. How it's going to work, thought it'd be a little more fun to do it this way, is we're going to do a snake draft. And how it's going to start with the Expos being in that 9th position. And you are going to get the first pick of anybody. We're throwing tiers away, Kevin. We're throwing tiers away, Eli. It is simply the remaining 6 teams that are on your schedule docket, who do you want to play twice? And that's going to be what we're going to go with Kevin first for the first overall pick. Then we're going to go to Eli. He's going to have some back-to-back picks. Before we started recording, it's kind of an easier, sell for the Marlins. Kevin has some harder decisions here. And then at the end, after that, it's going to swing back to Kevin, where he's going to get to have to choose his final two remaining. And then Eli, you'll be left with whatever is remaining. Let's go through the 6 teams from last year as well. It's with the Athletics gone. That was kind of the other bottom tier team that we had. And I'm going to pull up real quick. And then we have all the other teams. Obviously, the winning the entire league last year, we had the SWBL Twins. And it's kind of been 3 years in a row of having a different tier 1 team has won. The Orioles 3 years ago, excuse me. Last year we had the Yankees, and then this year we had the Twins. Now, you got to believe those are going to be the last 3 unless some surprise happens here. But talk about those teams, Eli, being at the top for so long. The Yankees have not missed a finals in 4 years. Ever since Gus has joined them, talk about what's it going to take for these other franchises. Is it going to take some movement from different people from other franchises to kind of join together? What's it going to take to kind of break into that top tier for one of these other teams?
I'm more concerned about trying to not be in the Yankees division for the first time in our existence. Worried about us right now. But yeah, look, I mean, they're the top 3 almost every year for a reason. So luckily we're a lot younger. Maybe eventually they'll age out. That'll be our advantage there. But I guess we'll wait and find out.
Absolutely. And the big news out of Expos camp, Kevin, is the movement of Sam Eichenlaub going to the SWBL Astros. So big free agent signing for the Astros. I think Sam wanted a different look and just wanted to kind of play with some other people. And I know he's been kind of a big cornerstone for the Expos. And I know we haven't announced, the draft and things like that. I know it's on the Expos horizon of a possible draft for some draft picks and things. But talk about what it's going to take for the Expos and Jimmy Nelson and Matt Germer, these guys, to step up for your franchise to really make an impact and get back to those winning ways.
It's going to be a different season. We're hoping to draft a couple guys that can help us in the pitching side of things, and still looking to develop like Jack Light and everybody, and everything else pretty much staying the same. So
yeah, Evan Close obviously has come around to being one of the more above average hitters. He's been kind of that middle of the road hitter for so long, and he has those moments of being one of the more clutch hitters in the league at times for your team. Matt Germer, we know, played the clutch role in that 2020 year as well. And if Jimmy Nelson can get back to his prowess, yes, the strikeouts are there on the pitching side, but can he get back to that prowess on the mound where he was dominating games and keeping the scores low so that your offense could catch up to some wins? So we have your teams. We talked about that top tier. The Orioles finished at 7-3, the Twins finishing at 9-1 last year, and the Yankees finishing at 6-4. Right behind them, making the wild card game last year, we had the Rockies and the White Sox. Rockies and the White Sox having that battle at the wild card game, the Rockies getting that victory over the White Sox to move on to the next round, but both teams ending at 5-5. And this is where it got so tricky last year, Eli, because then the next 3 teams all ended at 4-6. At 4-6, the Astros had made the playoffs before, then weren't in it, right? The Athletics had made the playoffs before, weren't in it. The year before that, you were in the playoffs, not in it this past year. So 3 years in a row, having a different team out of those 3 teams. I feel like we say it every year, Eli, but everybody seems to be able to beat any team at any given moment. Do you think it's going to be even more heightened this year? It's going to improve more, that parity in the league, hoping that the draft picks for the Expos hit, the Astros adding the addition of Sam Eichenlaub, you guys getting Jordan Smith, one of your best hitters, back. Do you think it's just going to be even more parity than usual?
Yeah, I mean, I think 7 of 8 teams at least will be alive when they go to bed Sunday night. And it'll come down to those last games on Monday. So, honestly, I was surprised when you reached out that we were second to last, because I knew we were in it till that last day.
Yeah.
And that's the same thing. One game, I don't remember what the game was. It was like a Saturday morning game we lost, and that flipped, everything
Yeah.
for us. We would have been in had we won that one game. So, I expect the same this year.
It was crazy how Monday mattered so much this past year, and all of the 4-6 teams, 5-5 teams, 6-4 teams. Yeah, the Athletics barely edging your run differential out by 2 runs last year. So I mean, it's just anything can happen in the SWBL. Anything can happen when it's 55 miles an hour and under with the yellow bat base running. So much can happen, and that's what we love about our game, is that anybody truly can win any game in their schedule. Let's get to it, Kevin. You are the first overall pick. I'm sure you've talked to your teams after I announced that this was going to be the new way, and you have a lot of options here. You can go with the Astros, and the Astros, Rockies, and the White Sox are kind of that tier in that middle of the road, 5-5, 4-6. And then you have the Yankees, Twins, and Orioles of the past, but you can pick any of the 6. Who is going to be your first selection for your division, Kevin?
We would like the Astros.
Astros. I love the pick for the Astros. There's so many storylines going into it here. I feel like that was, on my brain of a possibility. Obviously, talk about the reasons why for the Astros. I feel like the viewers are already going to know. We've talked about a few, but talk about why Astros in the first pick there.
With them taking Sam from us, and the way this draft is going to go, I feel like we're going to get 2 more of the top, 3 teams in our division. So if we're going to have to struggle playing all those teams twice, the Astros are going to struggle with us. So.
Oh, man. I love it. You're going to bring them down with you. So interesting first pick. But honestly, Eli, you really can't go wrong with any pick, right? The White Sox are on the rise. They added their rookies from the St. Louis area, bringing in some MOF representation. Brody Livingston was not the rookie of the year last year. His teammate Josh Wheeler was, but Brody tied Jimmy Nelson in strikeouts last year from that left side thrower. He really found it on the mound. And you could have gone with Rockies, White Sox, Astros, any of those teams that Kevin picked. But Eli, what do you think of Kevin's first pick of the Astros here?
Perfect. Exactly who I wanted to take.
Awesome. All right, so let's go on. You get 2 picks. I'm pretty sure we all know what's going to happen here, Eli, but give your 2 picks and talk about the 2 teams in your division and what the outlook is in the future for the 2 teams against them. You'll play them 2 times each.
Yeah, I will take the White Sox and the Rockies. White Sox, we always play pretty well, so I'm glad to have them in our division. And the Rockies were good. I know they pounded us at least one of the times we played them last year, so they had a really good season. So that's not a team you love to have, but given the circumstances, I'll take it.
Yeah, Rockies were, I believe, 3rd in runs scored last year. They have a high-powered offense. They even scored more runs than the Yankees last year, which is wild to say. But the Rockies have a high-powered offense. Tony Cochran really came onto the scene last year. He was getting rooted hard for on those, Sunday night games when everybody starts to get a little loose sometimes. But Mobamba, something he was being called the whole time. But what a great moment for him and a great moment for the Rockies, obviously making it to the semis, but falling short against the Twins there. All right, that brings us back to you, Kevin, and this is where obviously you're going to finish off your division, Expos and Astros. Talk about the 2 teams that you're going to be picking. Maybe just do the first one. Just give me one first, Kevin. Finish off the 3rd round. Just give me your first pick to join you in the Expos and Astros division.
We'll go with the Orioles.
Orioles are in. You pretty much knew this was coming. It's pretty much going chalk. The first pick, honestly, was going to decide the rest of it, I think, in my head. But talk about the Orioles. Obviously you have a lot of connections with the Orioles. But talk about why you picked them first here and how excited you are to have them back in your division. It's been a couple years.
Yeah, I think it's mostly the connections we have with some Expos players. So always excited to play you guys, and we have fun doing it. But we also want to try to win. So
get 2 chances to do it. And, I feel like every game that we've played with you all has been a close game. For some reason, we always get held to certain runs, and we have to make sure we're working on our end to not let you score as many runs too. Some of my favorite moments are playing against the Expos franchise, the game 1 a couple years ago where it got rain delayed and had to replay it the next time too. So many great moments between those franchises, and it's nice we get to play each other 2 times in this one. And finish off your division. This is where it gets tricky. It's Yankees, Yankees Twins. Eli's sitting there waiting. What's going to happen? But you can't go wrong with either of these squads. They completely dominated. The Twins dominated the runs scored category at 135. Second place behind them was the Orioles at 109. So the fact that the Twins have just this amazing run differential, plus 52 last year, they have a high-powered offense. Jason Worstenholm joining them last year, obviously them getting over the hump and getting past the Orioles and Yankees finals that had been for the past couple of years to finally get that victory and back in the winner's circle. Chris Metter, one of the most decorated SWBL players of all time. Spencer Bogad is one MVP away from passing Brett Spencer for all-time in MVPs. Or you have the Yankees, the four tall trees back there. So many accolades to count, some of the best players, and obviously they have one of the more high-powered offenses, even if it didn't show. And with Scott Pulley now kind of exerting his prowess on the mound and winning that Cy Wiffle, it's an interesting one. But who have the Expos decided to go with to finish off their division?
We're actually going with the Yankees.
Wow,
man! I feel like in the past we actually play the Yankees a lot closer. I feel like we get blown out all the time by the Twins, so I think we play the Yankees better, and I feel like we won a few games against them in the past few years. So
yeah, and you definitely have. I think it was 2 years ago you defeated the Yankees, caught them sleeping. So definitely something that you're going off of history, going off of, hey, we want to make sure that we have a chance at getting those wins when we can, and you're going to be playing them 2 times, so maybe catch them at a certain moment that will be able to get a win for the Expos over those big trees, which means, Eli, you thought you were getting Yankees. I mean, Eli, was this kind of dream scenario, dream draft for you that you thought you might have, or would you have switched the Astros for a different one, or what's your thought there?
I guess I didn't really think about how you all would be the natural third to last pick, because I would have rather had you guys in my division, the Orioles. But that being kind of locked into that third to last, yeah, this was a good draft. I mean, we struggle against the Yankees. I think we beat them once, maybe twice. Rockies, we, for whatever reason, usually play pretty well. So this went well for us.
Well, I tell you what, the Yankees, being the champions of the Ketting Eye Center division last year, will get a chance to defend that title. So, Kevin, your division will be the Ketting Eye Center division. Last year, unfortunately, the Twins, they won their division as the Corner Pub and Grill, but they're going to switch over to Cardinal Blinds, which also makes a lot of sense because that's the connection with Spencer Bogad. So the Twins will be in the Cardinal Blinds and Shutters division with you all, Eli, and the Marlins. Let's go through our divisions one more time. For the Ketting Eye Center division, we have the Expos, who drafted the Astros in that first position, and then fell the Orioles and the Yankees. A lot of great reasons that Kevin gave. Obviously, the Expos and Astros rival. The more historic rivalries in our league. And then you have the Orioles and the Yankees in your division. Talk about that, Kevin. Orioles and Yankees in the same division. They faced each other in the finals a couple times. You know, these are 2 top-tier teams, and this is the first year where that tier 3 kind of goes out the window. 2 of those teams that play each other, Yankees and Orioles, fall to it. You have the Gus and Sam connection there. Talk about how it might make or break their seasons having to play each other 2 times, the Orioles and Yankees.
Yeah, it could be a tough run for them too. I feel like on paper, I think the other division does seem a little bit easier, just because we have clearly, like, the Twins, Yankees, and Orioles are the top 3 that have been, the past 3 years have won it all, and they haven't changed too much. So I think our division might be a little bit more difficult, but I know teams are changing a little bit all the time, and players are getting. So I think there'll be a lot of competition out there. So
yeah,
we're just trying to look to steal some games from people and ruin their chances of making the playoffs.
I love that. And I feel like no matter what, the divisions are going to be stacked and it's going to be competitive across the board. And only the top 2 in each division who win their division, plus 3 more from any division. So it is possible that an entire division could make it as well. And that leads us to the Cardinal Blinds division with Eli's Marlins, along with the White Sox, Rockies, and the reigning champion Twins. Kind of worked out though, Eli, right? The Twins, that being that reigning champ, they don't have any other tier 1 teams from the past in their division. So that's, something that they've earned too. Talk about the outlook of your division, where honestly, Eli, I feel like on paper, second place is up for grabs.
Yeah, no, I think the Twins are probably pretty happy about this division draw. And we'll find, go 9-1, 8-2, collect the wins. That's fine. We'll play for second place, and we really like our chances at the 2 seed. Over here, and whether we get the 3 seed, 4 seed, 5 seed, because it'll be a tougher battle for those teams over there. Sure. So some big advantages.
Yeah, and I feel like more than ever, the interdivisional matchups, when we have interleague matchups across, so when the Ketting Eye Center is playing against a Cardinal Blinds division, you really have to go for those games and win them, because your divisions are going to be so tough to win. It's almost like if you're going to be splitting games in your division, then you got to beat up on the other division to even have a chance at playoffs. But I really could see another year where we have all of these teams just so close in the standings, where it's going to come down to Monday again, which makes it exciting. Again, Ketting Eye Center division with the Expos, Astros, Orioles, and Yankees, and the Cardinal Blinds and Shutters division with the Marlins, White Sox, Rockies, and Twins. Kevin, Eli, thank you. For D24, we will be back at the Blur on Memorial Day weekend. Thank you to all of our sponsors: Ketting Eye Center, Cardinal Blinds and Shutters, Corner Pub and Grill, Andy's Frozen Custard, Spencer Gear, Brex, and Chill Designs, and so many more. We will be back for season 24, our Jack Bauer era. Kevin, anything to say to the people? Anything to say exciting for the Expos for your division?
Let's go Spurs.
That's right. And Eli, any last words for the Marlins in the Cardinal Blinds division?
Excited for the season.
All right, the draft is next, everyone. We'll be kind of talking through the captains. Captains will be telling me who they'll be drafting for rookies coming out. I believe we have about 4 rookies so far. So we always are wondering, are there going to be new rookies? Are there going to be places to put them? But it always seems like we have places to go. So rookie draft will be next. Schedule will be released, and we will continue on this great year of 2026 of wiffle ball in St. Louis, starting Memorial Day weekend. Thanks, Eli. Thanks, Kevin. We'll see you next time for the SWBL. I'm Commissioner Sam Skibby. See you soon.